distinguished delegates, party leaders and elders, I thank you all for this overwhelming mandate to fly the flag of our great party once again to victory. 4 years ago, we gathered at Lamido Cinema for a similar exercise, an exercise which was a defining moment for our great party in Adamawa State. You exhibited this culture, stoic, democratic ethos, which has become our collective trademark as loyal party men and women of the PDP. At the State Congress, we demonstrated our anger at the way we are governed by the party in power in the state at that time. We made a collective resolution to take back our state from all progressive, from APC, whose performance in governance was far below acceptable rating. That resolution was what made you to entrust the flag of our great party unto me as your candidate for the 2019 general election in the state. I carried the flag with pride and led us to victory in the 2019 election. The decision you took could only happen in PDP, a party with deep democratic roots. It is only in PDP that such decision could be made in an open election where a person of my political background could emerge as the party flag bearer. You entrusted in me to lead the onslaught, not because I was the richest of all the aspirants or any peculiar consideration. You didn't even care about where I was coming from or the faith I possess. You entrusted your mandate on me because you believe I'm one of you, because I share in your plight and I also understand your needs, the needs of Adamawa and Adamawa people, because I've bonded enough with you to know what works for you and the state and what does not. Beyond the bond you share with me as a legislator from an extreme constituency of Madagali to the leadership I provided in the State House of Assembly as Speaker for those stints I had as the acting governor of the state. I have engaged a credible good enough to make you trust me. Well, this noted pedigree is sufficient to inform your decision. I believe the real icing on the cake was the trust that I have the courage to get the job done, the courage to lead from the front, not from the rear, as a commander that can democratically wrestle power from those who are misusing it, and the courage to provide good governance when the battle is won. After the primary election, which was adjudged free and fair, I didn't take my triumph for granted. I went all out, cognizance of the burden entrusted on my shoulders and the task ahead. I came back to launch an aggressive, all-encompassing, issue-based campaign. We unpacked the 11-point agenda, which became our potent battle arsenal during the campaign and strategic development compass when we won. We sold our campaign to the people of Adamawa State with the sincerity of purpose and patriotism to our state. We were honest and truthful to every commitment we made during the campaign. Trust was one ingredient the APC-led government lacked. That was what we cultivated in reckless abundance. The people believed in us as much as they could with their life. To the voters of Adamawa State, The 2019 election was an opportunity to vote between continuous lies and sincerity, and they chose the latter. We were voted in, and APC was voted out. Today, I'm happy to note that what has just happened is an endorsement of the fact that at the party level, we have not been a disappointment to our party and its leadership. I'm happier that the trust between the entire people and our great party remains sacred. We have, in the last 3 years, guided this trust jealously. It is the ordinance of this trust that propelled us to deliver every item in our social contract with the people of Adamawa State with the required precision. We have stabilized the polity and provided good governance for all. We have reignited confidence in government and elevated leadership to a serious business. Our citizens can now take the words of their leaders to the bank. In spite of the global economic challenges, which has been worsened by the effect of COVID-19 pandemic, we have been able to discharge our responsibility to the people with amazing satisfaction. On assumption of duty in 2019, we met a state with one, heightened insecurity and uncertainty as a result of the remnants of the activities of Boko Haram insurgency in the northern zone, with some communities largely uninhabitable. Farmer-herder clashes, which has threatened food security in the state and the nation at large. Incessant kidnapping on the farms, at home, on transit, etc. The spring reign of the urban crime, such as the notorious activities of the Sheila Boys cult, which has crippled nightlife, especially in the metropolitan centers, and perennial clashes among the ethnic, which has crippled night, especially in the metropolitan centers, and perennial clashes among the ethnic groups over limited resources. We redesigned the security architecture of the state, invested resources, and sought for the necessary collaboration to combat the situation. Today, Adamawa State is one of the safest states to live and to do business in the Federation. Decade and overstretched infrastructure or outright lack of them, especially in the urban centers, such as good roads, potable water, affordable housing, power and energy to support the growth of small and medium enterprise, as well as poor transport infrastructure. Unaccessibility to rural communities where the state abundant resources lay untapped. We picked up the task of providing fiscal infrastructure with unquantifiable vigor. We demonstrated commitment to completing all roads initiated by our predecessors and constructing new ones. We are opening up the rural areas through aggressive rural infrastructure campaign, lightening up communities by providing electricity to towns hitherto not connected to the national grid, to whose facilities were destroyed, especially in the insurgents' devastated areas. Today, we have bridged the infrastructural gap so fast that Adamawa State is emerging as one of the wonders of the urban renewals in this country. A disgruntled and ill-motivated civil service with largely stale skills to operate in the 21st century, where recruitment and progressions are marred by primordial considerations and celebration of mediocrity and total destruction of morals. Added to these ills are the uncertainty of monthly paid checks, payment of pensions and gratuity of retirees and other entitlements. Through meticulous and deliberate reform in the service, we implemented the minimum wage and its consequential adjustment and ensured that workers have gone beyond the worries of when monthly paychecks are made ready in the state. We have religiously kept to our promise of ensuring that wage isn't only paid, but paid as at when due. We have innovated the ingenious way to deal with the issue of leave grant and with the understanding of the organized labor. We are surmounting it with ease. We are unbundling the unwarranted gridlock with our pension system. So far, we have sustained prompt payment of pensions and clearing bad luck of gratuity payments we inherited. Beyond the regular monthly payments on gratuity, we have released the sum of 1.5 billion naira and 1.3 billion in 2021 and 2022, respectively, for this purpose. We have subdued mediocrity and introduced merit in the recruitment, retention, and promotion of workers in the state. Our commitment to workers' welfare knows no bounds. To ease the hardship of mortgage and house ownership in the state, we are constructing 1,000 units of houses in Malkoy Yola. This has reached an advanced stage and others having been completed, and have directed that 600 out of the 1,000 housing units be allocated to the great workers of Adamawa State. An education system that was crying for help in terms of access, enrollment, retention, and progression, with ill-motivated teachers, poor learning infrastructure, lack of teaching aids, and general lack of incentive and subsidies for both parents and students. Such incentives like free tuition fee in public schools, payment of national examination fees such as JS, SCE, WAEC, and NECO, and payments of bursary, scholarship to indigenous students in tertiary institutions are made free. Today, we have aggressively reversed the ugly trend. Our teachers are paid regularly, the infrastructure is being improved upon, the teaching aids are provided in schools, scholarship bursaries are provided for our students in tertiary institutions, basic education is free in the state, and no child attending public schools pay WAEC or NECO in Adamawa State. A health system that was managing to survive only with the support of donor partners, with weak service delivery, poor infrastructure, lack of access in most communities. Today in Adamawa State, we are building 5 brand new cottage hospitals across the state and rehabilitating and expanding all the general hospitals. We have equally recruited nurses and doctors to man the hospitals and establish the state health insurance scheme, which is aimed at supporting low-income earners and vulnerable people in the state. Third, Fintri care. Poor agricultural system that can hardly support subsistence living. Today in Adamawa State, through the Adamawa State Agro-Business Support Program, ADASP, we are transforming the agricultural sector by empowering farmers to produce not only food for the teeming populace, but to restore their pride in the oldest profession by unlocking the necessary financing opportunities that incentivize their transition from subsistence to agri merchants. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, our leader, this is not a moment for stock taking, but I feel it is equally important to bring some of these achievements to your notice so that you can appreciate the value of the decision you took in 2019, which is a vindication of the decision you just took today. We have invested the greater part of our 4 years term on subduing our development challenges as a state. As your leader, we are at all times sensitive to your other needs. I want to tell you here that we have dedicated the remaining part of our time to attending to those other silent but necessary needs that could directly alleviate your poverty and economically empower you. These needs are generally referred to in Nigeria, political palace, as stomach infrastructure. To the citizens of Adamawa State, I want to sound that this is the beginning of the journey to 2023 election. The PDP as a party has done its part today. My humble request to you, as always, is to join us to repeat this beautiful decision in 2023 by voting the PDP all the way. Never go back to deceit and lies. There is nothing new that the APC will tell you. On this note, I want to congratulate all our aspirants who emerged as winners in all the primary elections held in the state, from the State House of Assembly to the National Assembly primaries. I want to assure you that the party will stand by you till the end. To the other aspirants who were not successful at the primaries, I call on you to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship and support the party at all levels. In PDP, we are one big family, and there's enough space for everyone. Distinguished delegates, from here, there's a bigger and more important primary election ahead of us as we head for the National Convention in Abuja on the 28th and 29th of May 2022. For us in Adamawa State, this is more than a convention. It is a moment to demonstrate to the world that we love ourselves, we love our party, and we love Nigeria. It is a time to stand behind our father and our mentor, our uncle, brother, and our friend. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Wazirin Adamawa. Not just because he is from Adamawa State, but because he is the candidate that can return our party to its winning ways and equally return Nigeria to its glorious days. This is not Waziri's project. It is an all Adamawa project. Let us go to Abuja and mobilize our friends and even our enemies, if we know them, to vote for Atiku and vote for a united, prosperous, and secured Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen delegates, as one people, we can. May God bless you all. Thank you all.